Hello, Captain Bucky Goldman, Bag and Fishing Charters. I wanted to talk to you about live bait. I haven't always been a live bait fisherman. Mostly, love doing artificial trips. So, this yesterday morning, got out early, netted bait. Was able to pick up my client around like 7:45, a little early, and ran out to the flats where I was seeing a bunch of tarpon. And within minutes of being on the flat, I noticed my bait starting to freak out. And I was like, oh crap, we need to get out of here. There's no oxygen in this water, not enough to sustain these fish. We've got to move. So had a nice putt out to get to deep enough water so I could jump up on a plane. I'm not about burning up the grass flats, it's just not worth it. So 3/4 of the way out on the putt, almost half my bait was starting to lie on the bottom. Once I was able to jump up, I had one of my clients put their hands in the live well in the front. The back live well seemed to be doing better because I have a bubbler in there as well. But the front live well, they were really struggling. So we made a nice run, and I had them stir the live well up to get them moving around again, and I swear we saved 90% of the bait in that live well. They all came back to life once they got some fresh oxygenated water. So with that being said, I see people like, oh my God, my bait died. There's something wrong with the water. There's red tide, but it's not that. It's the lack of oxygen, dissolved oxygen in the water. So wintertime, you don't really have that issue because the water is colder, and colder water holds more dissolved oxygen. In the summertime, we're looking at 88-degree water right now. There's not a lot of oxygen in the water. Secondly, you're coming off the nighttime where there's no sun, and the oxygen levels decrease. For one reason only, is that the sun is not hitting the grass, and the grass is not doing what it does, photosynthesizing and producing oxygen. So sometimes you may have to change up your game plan a little bit and wait to come in on a flat. Maybe fish some deeper areas where there's some better tidal flow and more oxygen in the water, and wait until that sun comes up a bit to, so the grass starts producing oxygen, and that flat will now have enough oxygen in the water to sustain your bait. Because once we left there, we went and hit another spot for about a half an hour. About an hour and a half, tried a couple deeper water spots, caught a few fish, and I was able to go back to where we wanted to start the morning, and the bait was perfectly fine afterwards. The water came up just a little bit, and there was plenty of oxygen. You also got to worry about getting in there when the water's too low. There's not enough water movement, and that also affects the dissolved oxygen in the water. So just something to take note of when you're out there catching live bait. You just keep a tight eye, close watch on your bait, and see what they're doing. You'll notice them start flickering and coming up to the surface and freaking out. And they're just telling you, listen, we can't breathe. We need some oxygen. Because there's nothing worse than having all your bait die on a trip and then having to sit there and come up with a secondary means of producing a good quality trip. Anyway, so keep all that in mind, and hope to see you all on the water. Stay safe.